Welcome to Garden Wise Adventures. My name is Malie. I live in Utah Zone 6/7, and today I wanted to do an update video. It's been a while since I've done a video, except for a few days ago I did a video on the Thirsty Earth Oya system. And first of all, I want to apologize for the barking dogs. I've been trying to wait for a time where the dogs aren't barking, and it's just not happening. But anyway, I wanted to give you an update video on where I've been and what has happened since we've done the last video, a few months ago. Now, the last video that I did before the Thirsty Earth video was talking about priorities in gardening and how to make it more accessible and easier for people. Now, one thing that I needed to do this last few months is prioritize my personal life. There's been a lot going on, and one of the major things that's been a lot of fun is just a couple of weeks ago I became a grandmother for the first time, and I've been soaking up beautiful newborn baby joy. So that's been a part of things, and then it's just I needed more time to just do the gardening, to get used to the new job that I have. I'm an accountant at a high-end nursery right now. It's a relatively new job for me. And so I just had to prioritize videos out, unfortunately. And that's part of life. Sometimes we have to make choices. But I have been gardening, and I want to show you what I've been doing. Now, my camera is about to run out of battery, so it's going to have to be as quick as I possibly can make this video. And if you've been with me for a while, you know that my garden tours are never quick. But let's show you some of the things that we've been doing. Now, I have been planting things in my gardens. This is old radish seed, and we've had like one come up, maybe two. So I put some old radish seed in here just because this bed was empty. Oh, it looks like we have a few more. But we're going to see how many radishes we can have come out of this bed, because this is going to be squash later in the season. Another thing that I did is I completely cleaned out and emptied out this bed. This bed had Jerusalem artichokes in it, and I replanted them in here. And let me show you a picture of how deep those artichokes grew. They were so deep. This is a 17-inch tall bed. I dug down about 2 feet, so it was below the depth of this bed. And we actually had tubers down that deep, down 2 feet deep. Now, the reason I did that is because they were starting to come up around the edges of the bed. So I knew that they were down deep, and I don't want them escaping. So what I did is I dug it all out, and I added weed mat at the bottom. The weed mat is going up the sides, so hopefully they can't escape. Anything that comes out the bottom, I'll just keep digging out. But the rest of it should be fine now. So we have Jerusalem artichokes in this bed. We're going to have squash, some tomatoes, and maybe some melons here. I've got some leek seedlings and a few other things that I want to plant in here. Maybe I'll do some kale. This bed needs to be redone. The soil needs to be replenished. And the roots dug out. This bed also gets a lot more shade than the other beds, so kale, leeks, things like that can lettuce, things like that that can tolerate some shade go really well in this bed. This is the beginning of April, and we still have the figs covered, but I have opened the tops. We don't have any new growth yet, but we don't have dieback. So most of these stems are still alive. And I'll leave the covering on. I'll just be taking layer by layer off as we go, as the weather warms up. I live in Utah Zone 6/7, and our last frost date is the end of May, and sometimes I've seen frosts into June. So the final covering will come off closer to June. We've got a lot of things leafing out. This is my little persimmon, and I don't know if it's going to survive. This is an early Giro. This one's going to be just fine. This is a Cassandra that a friend of mine actually did a graft for. So it looks like it's going to leaf out really nicely. Hopefully you can see that. We've got new leaves starting out on these. Some of the early things to leaf out are my goji berries. So this one is a red gem, or a scarlet gem, red gem, I think. And this one's a sweet scarlet, and it's hit about 6 feet tall now. So this one has grown in really nicely. They seem to grow really well. We'll see flowers here in a little bit. I'm not seeing any flowers yet. My pluots are leafing out, but I'm not seeing any flowers on them this year. This is their 5th year, and they flowered heavily last year, and I don't seem to see any this year, but we did get these pruned back. We've got some flowers coming on my Shinko Asian pear. Last year it fruited heavily. This year I'm going to remember to thin it out a little bit better. We've got a little itsy bitsy dwarf Girardi mulberry. I'm hoping it survived the winter. I'm not seeing any growth on it yet, but we do have some buds that are swelling, so we'll see if that survives. The garlic is looking gorgeous. We planted that last fall. We've got some broccoli and kale and kohlrabi in here. There's the kale, and we've got one little Swiss chard back there. All the shallots I planted last fall are coming up. We've got 2 different varieties. I think Dutch red and French gray are in here. This is full of cabbage. They should be ready to harvest in June. And then that'll be just in time to put peppers or something in these beds. Yesterday we planted my onions. We've got red, I don't remember what red variety. Then we've got sweet Spanish white and sweet Spanish yellow that are in here, so 3 varieties of onions. And I started these all by seed, and they did really well by seed this year. This is completely full of cauliflower. This row is white, this row is green, this row is the cheddar yellow, and then we've got a purple one. And then I had filmed several different videos, and I just looked so exhausted in them, I was just too embarrassed to post them. Maybe I'll post a picture of what I looked like. But anyway, in one of them, I actually planted peas. We planted peas and scattered some lettuce seeds. The lettuce didn't come up, but only a few of the peas came up. These are really old seeds, so I wanted to see if they were going to be any good. This is one of my sad updates. My peach trees and my nectarine trees had to be removed. We had a disease called Cytospora, and there were Cytospora cankers all over it, and over 3/4 of all of these trees were dead. So I had my arborist take them down so the Cytospora would not infect my Stella cherry tree. We got that pruned, and it is looking absolutely gorgeous. There's going to be a ton of fruit on it this year. Look at all those buds. Now my plum tree is flowering heavily. I think this is a Santa Rosa plum. But we had, let's get up here and see if we can tell if they're okay. We had a major, well, not a major freeze. We hit 30 degrees, which is the tolerance level for the flowers here. They're not looking brown. We're just going to have to see when the fruit, if the fruit starts to form, to see if the frost got them. But we do have a lot of flowers, and we have some gorgeous weather coming up. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens with these. This is my little fig that every year, this was planted in 2009, and right now it's 2025. And every year, this fig tree had died to the ground and only grown to be about a foot tall because I neglected the water and the fertilizer on it. And it would just get too cold and it would die back. But this year, I don't think it died back again. It's got green stems on it. Last year we got fruit for the first time since 2009, and I think it's going to take off. We'll see how it does. We've also got my tree peony that's going to flower. I'm really excited about that. My apples are getting ready to flower. And my white lilacs. Look at all the buds on this. We're going to have so many lilacs. I'm so excited. One of my rosemary made this through the winter. This one was also planted in 2009. It's gone through several diebacks and has always come back. But the cutting that I started last year, I'll try it again, but the cutting did not make it through the winter. This is completely dead. Yep, it did not make it. Another thing that I'm excited about is we have honeyberries that are in bloom. We've harvested some last year. I have 6 different varieties. They're all in bloom. And we'll do another video on honeyberries a little bit later because, like I said, I'm running out of battery and I don't have time to go through each and every plant. But the flowers are really pretty. My dark purple lilac is just about ready to bloom. We've got buds everywhere on this. Look at this. It's really exciting. We've got buds also ready to open on the pawpaw trees. This is one of my pawpaw trees. We've got a few buds on this one also. Just a few. This one is 5 years old. The wraps are to keep it from winter burning. What happens is the sap rises, freezes, and then it melts and freezes again and melts and freezes again. And then it cracks the bark. And it's not really healthy. So the white deflects the light and keeps it from splitting. So both of those are wrapped. We're trying again for probably the 8th time. This is a mango pawpaw. This is a brand new one. It's still alive. Let's see. Just planted it. So I'm hoping this one makes it. For some reason the pawpaws just don't like this area at all. But I want the symmetry of another pawpaw right here. So we're just going to keep trying until we get one that makes it. Everything else is absolutely gorgeous. We've got all of the summer bulbs. We've got the hyacinths that smell so good. We've got the daffodils, the little forsythia. I think this is the sugar baby forsythia. More daffodils. My weeping cherry. And everything's been cleaned up. We're just pretty much ready to go this year. Another thing that's coming up, or coming out, these are, well, okay, we're not going to get any nuts this year, but these are hazelnuts. These are 3-year-old trees. They're coming out of dormancy. Pomegranates are not coming out of dormancy yet this year, but they went uncovered throughout the whole winter and are doing just fine. So this one is, I think, a Slovatsky pomegranate. It's the hardy Russian, which means that I think I've heard people say if you can get them, yeah, I can feel that it's alive. And it's hard to see, but we've got green under there. So these have not died. Oh, and I'm seeing little tiny buds coming out. So there's the buds there. So this did not have any dieback. This one is the Slovatsky pomegranate. It's a hardy pomegranate, hardy down to zone 6. We had my first fruit on it last year and they were delicious. This is my pollinator hazelnut. So we've got 2 hazelnuts. We've got a Juliet bush cherry that's just about ready to bloom. And then look at these down here. These are my Lenten rose or hellebores. And they're so pretty. This one's getting ready to bloom. We've got this variety right here. Another gorgeous one right there. I absolutely love it. Now, these right here, I think what is happening with these is they're protected from the storms and they're also really heavily shaded. So I think they're not getting enough water and enough sun, so I may need to move these. Here in Utah, hellebores do need to have afternoon shade, but I think if it gets too deep and it's too dry, they don't do as well. So I may need to move especially that one. Now this is an almond. We got 1 almond off it last year. It was delicious. We've got some buds coming, so it's going to bloom, and we'll see if we actually get more almonds off it this year. We've got some gorgeous bulbs on this side. The daffodils are so beautiful. These are just starting to open. I have early, mid-season, and late-season daffodils. We also have rock iris and crocus. Here's some gorgeous ones. The doubles are just finally starting to bloom. Now, one sad bit of news, this is my chase tree. Last year it did not die to the ground. It did beautifully, but I think this year it has died. It will come back by the roots, at least it did 2 years ago when it died to the ground. So we'll probably just have to cut this all the way back and let it regrow again. My little tiny Golden Falls redbud is going to be in bloom here shortly. You can see the little buds starting. It's going to be so pretty. I love the shape of this tree. I love weeping trees. We've got a 6-year-old almost ready to bloom, I hope. This is a 6-year-old hardy pistachio, and I'll link a video up above that tells the story of this. This is, I wouldn't say one of a kind, but very, very rare here in Utah. Hardy pistachios are just, you don't find them, except for in one area, and I'll link the video that tells the story of that. This is a dark tower elderberry, getting ready to, it's starting to leaf out, and I think it'll bloom here shortly. And then we have my Chicago hardy fig. I did not cover this one this year to see how it would do. We did hit, let's see, I think we hit single digits, and it is still very much alive. So from what I've heard is fig trees, you know, this is a 6-year-old fig tree. If you can get them, if you can get mature wood that's well lignified, lignified wood is the wood that is older, it's hardened off, and it's got that brown covering. I've got chipped my nail there. That is the wood that will survive the winters. And so it looks like it survived. Now it may be just that this area did not get the extreme cold that the rest of the areas in my yard did, but it survived. And we also have my Black Mission fig down here that it's also survived the winter, but it was covered. And we do have some dieback, but not all of it has died back. I guess that one died back too. There were some that were alive down in there. And then in this area, we've got it all cleaned up. We planted, and we've got it all planted up. So sorry this was so quick. I'll do a longer video later that covers more things. My battery is actually in the active process of dying right now. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm looking forward to more, and I hope you go have a wonderful garden adventure.